Now let's get lively.
Follow me hard. I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. Oh, don't be scared, homie. I'm not surprised, motherfucker. Grab his dick and twist it.
Oh my god, dude, it's an MMA fight, dude.
You twist that dick. Twist his dick.
Tradies and gentlewomen, it is indeed time for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching along at home. This is the Eggplant Tornado podcast, the fight podcast for the common man. We coming at you live out of Garden Disaster Studios with all new levels of clarity. And with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, the Griff. How you doing this week, buddy?
What up, lads? Better. You know, feels more even now.
It does.
I just don't have this fucking huge black thing into my mouth. You boys also do now. How we doing, lads?
Not too bad, buddy. Not too bad at all. And rounding out the trio is a prediction wizard himself and a being made of pure logic. Frumi, how you doing this week, buddy?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. Not bad.
Can't complain with a rain day, can you?
No, one day off never hurts.
Fucking not at all, especially considering the week we're going to have.
Gonna be a big one for you, lads, eh?
It's going to be a fucking big one. It's going to be a big one for everything, man. Why don't you let us know what we've got going on this week?
I can do that. We've got stock standard, believe it or not. The fights from yesterday, so we got Tszuyu versus Harrison card, which had Nikita Tszuyu, a couple of other local fighters, I think, and then Tim Tszuyu. I don't know how to say the dude that Yarn versed.
Dvashivili, something like that.
Yeah, that seems pretty close. So yeah, Yarn versus that guy.
Yeah.
The UFC breakdown. Then we're going to preview two cards, UFC 286 and the Rosado versus Ramirez, the King.
Returns at 180. No,
The
not
king is
180,
back.
175. Third weight class
Right.
in a couple of years for him. So
Oh. What can't he do?
he fucking does everything. The menace everywhere he goes.
And then we're going to end it out with a little, that stands my burn.
No, and someone's going to cop it. Not someone, but an entity, we would say.
Something.
Mm.
Someone's always going to cop it.
Just a group of people as a whole.
Yeah. He's like, yeah.
Speaking of believe it or not, we don't have a whole lot to talk about here, but let's get into it because we do have a fucking huge bit of news up the top here. Usyk has accepted Fury's 70-30 split offer for a fight at Wembley April 29th. So Fury's just been spouting a bunch of shit like, you know, the reason that he hasn't taken this fight is because he reckons 50-50 split wasn't in order or even a 60-40 split, and he come out with some video the other day, obviously expecting Usyk to be like, no, fuck you, like that's not enough money, with like, it's, you know, I'm doing a 70-30 split, this is my final offer, and every day that he doesn't take the offer from now on, I'm going to take $1 million off the offer or 1% off the offer or whatever the fuck it is. And then literally like 2 hours later, Usyk sent a video just like, oh, well, I accept 70-30 offer. I'll see you in fucking April 29th at Wembley then. Let's go.
What a man. I
Yeah.
mean, someone had to take a step to finally make this fight happen, and it wasn't going to be Fury.
No, not at all.
Well, Fury already outpriced himself in Saudi Arabia.
What do you mean?
Well, he was saying he wanted double of what AJ got. And AJ got like 75 million, so he was asking for 150. Like what? Like, yeah, the Saudis are rich, but they're not going to fucking throw you money for no reason.
Exactly.
Yeah, not that much. Like, no way.
But
But
I think that's why Saudi fell through.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then,
it's got to make sense why I did.
like, Usyk offered 60-40, like, to the winner.
Yeah.
So, like, they just agree on that, and then whoever wins the fight gets the majority split. And Fury was like, who the fuck are you to be calling, like, the shots?
Well-
that was when he was like 70-30, and every day you're late, it's 1% off.
Every single thing that he does just proves that he knows he can't beat Usyk.
Yeah, and then Usyk called him out too, like, when he said, like, I accept your offer. He goes, but for every day you're late now, you have to donate $1 million to the people of Ukraine.
Yeah, right.
So-
you made that interesting.
So sort of forced Fury to put his fucking money where his mouth is, so to speak.
I did
Yeah.
see that, and that was a really smart tactic because it's one of those things that puts him in a position of like he's a real piece of shit if he doesn't go through with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes him look really bad. Hey?
100%.
Makes him look terrible. I'm just glad that that fight's looking like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because for a while it didn't look like it was going to happen.
I'm just glad these fucking microphones are here, man.
Oh, yeah.
So happy.
Yeah. It's so much like just to get off topic from fighting. It's just easy to like look around the room, you know.
Yeah, it's so comfortable. Like
Oh,
just
fuck
this little fucking lean, just literally just the fucking
See so much.
slightest twitch of the body.
Could see so much more. You know,
Yeah.
that fucking thing
Yeah.
on your face.
It's all about, all about perspective, boys.
Boys are hyped. Boys are fucking hyped.
Oh, fucking hell. But yeah, like it is good to finally see it happen. But like we said, it's only happening because somebody like Usyk has just taken the step forward and just gone, all right, fuck you, I'll take your 70-30 split.
Yeah, well, like if he didn't accept that, this fight was just never going ahead.
No, not at all.
No. So, yeah.
And I mean, that kind of also plays into our next point. We had Davies and Garcia having their first 2 press conferences last week. So aside from that, we'll get into like the actual like back and forth of that in a minute. But the whole like contract negotiation that was going on between them, it's come out now that since the fight's been announced that there's a rehydration clause for the next day. Garcia can't weigh in over 146 pounds or something like that because the catch weight is 136, which makes no fucking sense.
That's still like 5 kilo you can put on.
It's still relatively achievable, yeah.
It's not like I wouldn't say it's like severe weight draining.
Yeah.
Like Garcia has probably every other advantage in the fight. He's got the height, he's got the reach, he's got the speed. Tank's probably a bit more crafty. So it probably levels the playing field a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, but Garcia was like 140 or weighed 140 or something for his last fight. Doesn't he fight at fucking 135 with the rest of them? Like, I don't understand this whole 136 catch weight bullshit. Like, aren't they all meant to be at like 135 anyway, at lightweight?
Yeah, it's very fucking strange.
Yeah, it makes the most sense. I don't really understand the whole like, we'll just catch weight. No, you're both in the same weight class. Yeah, why are we doing that?
Like, yeah, I don't understand. And then everyone's like whinging. But it's like, don't they make 135 anyway?
Yeah.
Like,
And there's a
for
rematch
all of their
clause
other
as
fights.
well. It's a rematch clause for a fight with no belts.
Which way does the rematch clause go? Both ways?
The rematch
in
clause, the only thing that changes in the
Davis's
rematch clause
favour.
is the promoter. So if Garcia wins, it gets promoted on DAZN next time as opposed to Showtime.
There you go.
That's literally it. Nothing. I don't think anything monetarily changes in any way, shape, or form.
But like, look how long this fight took to get made. Fuck, imagine how long the rematch is going to drag out. Especially because like this fight probably lines them both up into, other things happening.
That's if Tank doesn't go to prison.
so
Yeah,
does
that too,
say
yeah.
that if Davis goes to jail, then the fight's off for like 5 years.
Exactly.
Yeah. While we're talking about Tank versus Garcia, that fucking idiot in the comments. Oh, saying this is a 50-50 fight, you guys need to get educated. How's this? Fuck off.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah,
talking-
saying some shit like, oh, it's fucking saying he's an up and comer. It's like, who is he for?
No, but he contradicted his own comment in the same sentence, which blows my mind. Saying he's an up and coming fighter. He's had a couple fights in the last few years. Yeah. The definition of up and coming.
Yeah.
He's not like world champion level yet. He's on the way there.
Yeah, that's it. It remains to be seen after this fucking fight.
Yeah.
But did you guys watch any of the press conferences?
I didn't. No.
I didn't watch the press conferences. I just watched like face-offs and shit.
It
I've seen
was-
a little bit of the back and forth at one of them.
It was a little less, like the face-offs were a little less heated than what I thought they'd be. They were just yapping in each other's face, man. But what the fuck is wrong with Davis? He doesn't know how to promote himself in any way, shape, or form. He's fucking terrible at it. He spent the entire press conference just saying the words, all you have is a left hook. All you have is the left hook. That's it. That was his only comeback to everything that Garcia
really?
said. And Garcia had like jokes.
Yeah.
He was fucking ripping him back and forth like every time Davis would say something. And then, yeah, it was just constantly fucking repeating this fucking phrase rather.
Yeah, that's weird.
Just, and I don't know, the more that I've like looked into him, the more that I like, what is it about him?
I think he doesn't know how to speak well. Have you watched Sunday fucking whatever it is with
Yeah.
Caleb Presley? Have you seen Tank's episode?
No.
He just doesn't know how to talk. Like he's like, I don't know.
From the ghetto
Yeah.
as well. Like he's from Baltimore, which is like now what Detroit was, I suppose, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
He's just a terrible public speaker in the sense that like he's like good at hyping his fucking self up on Twitter, when he's behind his fucking keyboard and everything, he seems to be like witty and, you know, good comebacks and all that kind of shit. But as soon as he gets...
Yeah, I feel like they kind of autocorrect his sentences. And
Probably, man. Who fucking knows?
You got time.
yeah.
But
yeah,
yeah,
you can spend an
just-
hour to come up with a reply, don't it?
If anybody, like, if you can say that anybody won or lost those press conferences, Davis definitely lost, like the war of words. Remains to be seen whether he's going to win a boxing match or not.
Like,
but
I think that's the difference between him and Garcia, but Garcia knows how to promote himself.
yeah,
Tank just knows how to fight.
Well, Garcia was like a big thing before he
That's it.
really had any proper fights. Like,
Yeah, he was
because he
like,
was so big on Instagram,
Yeah,
YouTube, and
exactly.
shit. So, yeah, he can promote himself extremely well. I seen they had like a little like Tank put his fist on Garcia's chin, then Garcia tried to do the same thing, and Tank had like a meltdown over it. So don't touch me. So you just did it to him.
I didn't see Garcia like do one back, but I saw that whole like, yeah, Davis sort of throwing one at his chin. And then there's this whole debate over like, oh, did he hit him?
It was like a thing where you're like, oh, man, he like he was just like putting his hand there.
Yeah.
They weren't throwing punches.
People just read into
Exaggerate
shit way
it,
too
yeah.
much. Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, Tank did it to Ryan. Ryan just did the exact same thing, like with his left hand. Like, oh, I'm just gonna get you with this, and he's just like, I had a meltdown. Don't touch me. That's all you see him mouthing. Don't fucking touch me. It's like it doesn't work like that. You can't just, you know.
He's like a kid.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
And then at one of the press conferences, like prank Tank.
That's pretty accurate because he's a fucking joke most of the
He's a
time.
prankster.
Yeah, he said something like, all he goes, all you've got is a left hook. You don't got no footwork. You don't got no boxing IQ. You don't got none of this. And Garcia's like, thanks for telling me what I need to work on, fuckhead.
Yeah, it just makes it a fucking funny thing.
Like, you just told me what I need to work on. You're an idiot. Like,
I think Garcia's like better than he gets the credit. He's not a bad boxer.
I don't know. It's sort of like half and half. Some people overhype him way too much, and then people that there's literally no middle ground in the sense that there's people that don't really know what they're talking about. They're just like, oh, he's the fucking best ever, and then there's people that know what they're talking about that should give him more credit. That are just like, oh, he's just a pretty boy on Instagram, so fucking fuck all of his skills because he hangs around with TikTok stars.
Yeah.
Okay, people just like make weird equations in their fucking mind.
I reckon he's like a good up and coming prospect.
Fuck you, whatever your name is. Whoever that random cunt is on YouTube.
Oh, that guy's a fucking idiot.
I assume that's what the joke was aimed at.
I wasn't joking. That's been serious. Like, I just honestly think he's like a good up and coming prospect.
Well,
Like,
it's one of those things. Like he hasn't really fought anyone. This is his
Campbell.
defining fight. Yeah, that's it. You could say that. Like, I actually seen an interesting point today in the sense that like Campbell's probably better than anybody Tank has fought.
not really.
You wouldn't say so?
No, you got Leo Santa Cruz, 4-weight world champion. Like Luke Campbell, all he done was win a gold medal. Even Jose Pedraza was a world champion at whatever level.
To
Yeah,
me,
I didn't think
and
about
shit.
those.
Like, Tank has fought the more experienced opposition as a pro. Whether people like to admit it or not.
Yeah, that is true.
my thing with Campbell, he seems like a gatekeeper for like them lighter fighters. Pretty much like, oh no, you'll be there to when they need to prove themselves type thing. Like, you know, for everyone, for Garcia, it was like, this is his biggest test.
That fight with Campbell for Garcia was like, I think whoever got that was like moving into like sort of the contention for a world title shot.
Yeah.
So now, like, that was sort of, as you said, like, he's sort of like was like sort of a gatekeeper,
Yeah.
but didn't have that name tag at that point.
Yeah.
Like, he was on his way. It was either make or break for him, that fight.
Yeah, where Garcia, it was like, if Garcia lost that fight, it was like, oh, you know, he's not ready yet. He's like still building. So that's like, for anyone to say that he's not up and coming prospect.
But that's the same thing.
But
That
like,
happens with this fight.
he's on that level now, though. He's at that world level. He can't go backwards.
Yeah,
So,
but
like, he's broken that.
To a
I
degree.
suppose he's broken that sort of prospect barrier, but he hasn't proven himself as a world-class fighter yet.
Yeah, he went through the gate.
Yeah.
The gate's closed. Like, you can't get back.
Now he's got no choice but to go forward and fight the people who are the big names.
But
Yeah.
because he's not fighting like an ex-world champion or someone with a bunch of experience, he's fighting somebody that's only slightly above him in like the phase of his career kind of thing. It's a really, it works out like a fucking like high risk, low reward fight for Tank. Because if he wins, everybody just says, "Oh, you beat the guy that you were supposed to beat." But if he loses, it's like, "Oh, you got fucking smashed by this up and coming kid who you spent the entire time saying he's not as skilled as me. He doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. All he has is a left hook." And then like that'd just be like poetry if he just gets slept by that fucking left hook that is all Garcia has.
Well, it'd be even better if he just got slept by like
Something completely
something,
different.
Yeah, like he just got was caught with a cross or something and he was just done. But then also, yeah, it'd be like super satisfying if you just like, I don't know, I don't know who I want to win the fight.
Well, this is the other point too. Like watching that who did he fight? Hector Garcia, was it? The bald guy, Tank fought. It was a Garcia. I'm pretty sure his name was Hector.
Yeah, it was
anyway,
Garcia or something.
he got caught a fair bit in that match, and obviously that dude didn't have heaps of pop on his shots, kind of thing. Stumbled him once or twice, but has Tank really fought aside from like Cruz? Because Cruz hits like a fucking truck and it'll just come forward because of that Mexican style. Has he really fought anybody that has that like fucking snap or power on their shots like Garcia has?
No, he's probably caught the people who have been world champions sort of at the later part of their career. But, like, they were still world champions at that point. So, like, they were, like, Santa Cruz was able to stop, like, he could have stopped people. I don't think he had the, like, one punch fucking concussive power, but, like, if you through accumulation, he could stop you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Garcia's got that, like, that power, but I agree with what Tank told him. Like, he's got no footwork, like, defensively.
Oh, no. Not at all.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's like really
Like,
been used to being defensive. Like, he's seen that against Campbell. He got clipped by just being lazy.
yeah, and if he gets lazy like that, he's going to fucking sleep.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah.
Because
Like,
Tank, like, Luke Campbell's a southpaw. Tank's a southpaw. If Tank catches him, he's not getting the fuck back up.
nah, yeah, if he does, it's going to be like not good for him.
Yeah, and, like, Tank's going to have to sit on his chest.
Every
Yeah,
time
that's
that
the
you
other
say
thing.
that phrase, I just think of
Campbell.
Rikishi. Literally every time, eh? So.
Davis and Rikishi kind of look similar. Do you reckon? When he blows up to like 150 in between fights and shit, his face gets a bit puffy.
I seen Garcia put a story out, and it's just reminded me because you said the weight. And it's like, I think he might have a bit more weight to lose than me. Have you seen this photo?
Oh, I did see what you're talking about, yeah.
How ridiculous is it? He's like, it looks so bad. Like, oh my god, yeah, he definitely does. What are you talking about?
Oh, fucking hell, it's fucking hilarious.
It's like, speaking of weight between fights, did you just notice Charlo's head yesterday? His face looked fat, bro.
Hey, it is big.
Like, did not look like he's working out much at all.
He did have a bit of chubby face. I wonder how his pussy's going.
Yeah, I wonder if the swelling's gone down.
They're
He
probably
didn't look like he was sitting real comfy.
No. I
Nice.
definitely didn't like he was sitting comfy after that fucking knockout.
Might still have a lip. Just hanging, I don't know.
It's probably all dried out because I doubt the thought of Tim fucking fighting Tim turns him on anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not good for him anymore, right? It's just like, fuck.
I barely heard anything you said after dried out. I was just like, oh, fuck.
Beautiful.
Why don't we get into our last 2 points of news here so we can talk about that fight? Because fucking what a fight it was. We had Benson Henderson retiring after his loss to Usman Nurmagomedov in Bellator.
Yeah.
Good.
Like-
I haven't seen like him fight, but like good that he's retiring. He'd be getting on now, Benson Henderson.
Yeah, he's been in it a long time now.
Did you guys watch how he got finished?
Yeah. Like the question mark kick.
This cunt's terrifying, man.
Or Usman.
Yeah, he's like they say that he's the best out of all of them, and he legitimately is. Like, if he was in there against Volkanovski the other week, it might have been a different fucking story.
Yeah, well, he's got like the striking, like the real good striking, and then he's got the ground game.
That
to go with
question
it.
mark kick was so crisp.
And he slipped too, which is scary.
Yeah, he fell over after it and still had enough like speed and explosivity to get off the ground, chase this cunt, get on his back, and choke him the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah, that dude's impressive, hey.
But yeah, Benson Henderson's been around for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, he fought like a young Nate Diaz.
Oh, fuck, he was the jump off the cage, kick to the face bloke.
Yeah.
Like
So he was one of the first lighter fighters to come to the UFC, like
And that
him
was-
and Anthony Pettis.
that video was going around like when we were in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Doesn't look that old though.
No.
Like,
He'd have to be mid-30s, though.
I reckon he'd be late 30s. It's got to be. Unless he fucking started fighting at like 14. I don't know.
I'm just thinking, like, even like 15 years ago, he would have had to have been like 20 when he done that kick or something. You know, put him at like 35, mid-30s now.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, but as you say, he's probably closer to the later 30s now.
Yeah, I could imagine he's probably like pushing the later side of it.
So good on him for giving it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it. It's just always like
I hate
good
seeing,
to see when people know their time.
Yeah, I hate seeing like old fighters that were like good, just in there taking punishment for a paycheck.
Yeah, like Chuck Liddell.
Yeah, like
He
just
was,
stop, bro.
yeah.
But then like it's also like fuck. It's sad that a man that was like that huge when the UFC wasn't big
Mm.
wasn't compensated. Like obviously wasn't compensated for what he'd done for that fucking company.
Nah, yeah, but went elsewhere. So,
Like he should be fucking set for life. He shouldn't be having to get punched in the face anymore.
yeah.
Like Chuck Liddell.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he went and fought Tito and fucking.
yeah, like fuck me, you done that much for the UFC.
Yeah.
And like people, I hate seeing people like that still getting punched in the face. Like,
I feel like the UFC actually did give him a job. He worked behind the scenes for the UFC doing something. So I feel like if him branching out to take that fight would have just been because Dana would have said no. Because Dana, after one of his last UFC fights, Dana was like, we're not doing this anymore.
yeah,
Pretty much. Because like him and Dana have like a good relationship.
yeah, right. I just hate seeing old fighters taking fucking
Oh, it's the
fights
worst.
just for a paycheck. Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, it's horrible. Like, oh no, you're just taking years off your life to
And
like,
they're in there with
get
like
by.
they're in there with the young killers. It's like they were like 10, 15 years ago or
Mhm.
whatever. It's like, no, you're just going to get fucking murdered.
The kind that probably feels the worst is the dude that has to do it to him because they probably grew up watching them fight. And I'm just like, man, I really don't want to lay you the fuck out.
Well, it's like that guy that fucked up Frankie Edgar.
Mm-hmm.
It was like his childhood hero. He
Yeah,
just had
like-
to-
You like knocked him the fuck out and just starts crying
Yeah.
immediately. Like, fuck.
yeah, fucking done it now.
He's fighting in the next couple of weeks. Was it Gutierrez? I think his name was Chris Gutierrez.
No idea.
Pretty sure he's on the card this weekend.
Chris. Yeah, man. I don't know who that is.
Anyway,
Ken
let's move on to our last bit of news so we can talk about the fights that happened last weekend and the ones that are happening this weekend. So Amanda Serrano had to pull out of the Taylor fight due to some form of injury. I'm not sure what it was. So Katie Taylor is now going to be fighting Chantel Cameron in Dublin at 140 for all of Cameron's titles, looking to go for two-weight world champion.
What a lady.
Yeah.
Absolute fucking Irish goddess, that bitch.
That place is going to be sold out.
100%.
Like, fuck.
Yeah.
The atmosphere that will be in that place.
Surely, I reckon she'll probably get double and just call it. What do you reckon?
Nah, I still think she wants to have that one last fight with Serrano.
Just to like, because that like cements her legacy, really. Hey,
Yeah,
What's
Cameron's undisputed, is she?
Yeah, she's undisputed at 140.
Yeah, we go up, take hers, go back down.
So this is the beauty of like that women's division at the moment.
Will she
all
be
the
double
way-
undisputed then? Sorry, I cut you off. But will she be double undisputed then?
Who?
Like,
Taylor.
yeah, in
Yeah.
2 weight classes.
Undisputed two-weight world champion.
I'd do that and just call it. Fuck, like risking putting a blemish on your career by
But here's
going
the
and
thing.
fighting a dangerous Serrano.
Baumgartner wants to fight her as well. So she
Yeah.
could just turn around after that.
And go, fuck,
Go
I'll
triple.
fight you,
Buy
Baumgartner.
Baumgartner.
Is that triple? Is
Could be.
Baumgartner undisputed?
Baumgartner's undisputed at
Yeah.
130.
Yeah, so they could make some kind of deal that it's for
Yeah, I feel like Katie,
all the belts.
I feel like Katie outboxes Baumgartner all day.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like that's a hard fight to watch. Purely for the fact, you know where I'm going to be looking.
Yeah, how
depends
much
what she
was
decides
spent
to
on
wear.
the shorts, Grip?
Hopefully, like, bare minimum. Hopefully, just bare minimum. Just like the name tag. That's it. So fucking, what the fuck? What's happening?
But yeah, so that, like you said, it's going to be a fucking crazy atmosphere, and fucking Taylor
Fuck
could
yeah.
walk out of there with like 8 belts fucking straight across the shoulders.
Which is huge.
Absolutely massive. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but she's beaten Chantel Cameron before.
I'm not sure.
I feel like
I'd have
she's
to look into
fought her
that.
before at a lower weight. I'm not sure.
Maybe like on the rise.
Yeah. Maybe I'll look into that in a minute while we're talking about something else.
Well, it's good that they like replaced the fight and not just like postponed it or anything.
Yeah.
It's dope. Double undisputed. So will she be the first ever double undisputed champion?
No, because I think Clarissa Shields is double undisputed champion.
Throat quote.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And I say that with nothing but respect. Imagine it takes a lot of work, you know.
Oh my god, I think that's the perfect way to fucking finish up, believe it or not.
So Tszuyu Harrison card.
Yeah, so
Right, we'll
why don't we
start
just like quickly run through the card before we talk about the main?
So Nikita
We've only
Tszuyu
got
versus
about half an hour here to get through everything.
Oh, easy work. So we've got Nikita Tszuyu versus some motherfucking guy.
Just auctioneer grid.
Yeah. Party do, boys. I'm ready. Yeah, so we had Nikita Tszuyu come out pretty quick. Got the win, 4th, 5th. I don't know. What round was it, boys? Nah, who did he verse? What was his name? Ben Bielman?
Bellman, fucking some shit.
We'll just call him Uncle Dad Ben. So, yeah, Nikita started the main event off. Dominating. Just dominated that dude, hey.
Yeah.
Got a pretty gnarly black eye out of it, but it just looked like that other guy had, like, no power. Because, like, he just hit.
Just no right being there.
Oh, man.
Missing a chromosome, bro. Leave him alone.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad that he took that beating. I feel like Nikita did too. Gave him like a bit of like support at the end of the fight there. It's like, you know, you'll be right, mate. You can beat this. Theo Von did.
Oh, Jesus. Who else did we have on the card? We had
That was a good showing from Nikita though.
Yeah, it was.
Like that's his last two now have been fourth round finishes.
He needs to sort of step up in competition after this though.
This guy was meant to be like a big test.
Mm.
So was Dryden, not Dark and Dryden. He was meant to be another big test. But it's like that Dark and dude had like 4 fights. Why is he a big test for Nikita?
The thing is, like, there's not a huge pool of talent in this country, so he needs to sort of be pushed up.
Yeah.
Now.
I don't know about the rest of the card. I watched the co-main.
No, who like the other 3 fights we had
Goodman.
Sam.
Oh yeah, we had. Yeah.
No, we had like
the man
Hardman versus
Hardchin.
Hardman versus Murdoch or something like that. And Murdoch came out with a split decision win, which apparently was wrong.
Did you see?
Who
like,
knows?
Did you see Hardman after the fight?
Yeah,
Like down abusing the judges and shit.
full yelling at him and shit.
He's a hard man to beat, a hard man to please.
It's just a hard man aura.
He's a hard man. Yeah, was that the one that went to a draw?
No.
Okay.
And then we had Goodman versus someone, and he came out. Wait, did he win that by knockout? No, that was also a split decision, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I don't think I caught the end.
I can't remember. I don't really care enough. Then we had that fucking. Then we had that cunt dancing around in the fucking like light heavyweight co-main, whatever his name
He
was,
was,
Paulo
like-
Akuso.
He could have done a lot better for his rise if he just didn't fuck around. He dropped that guy early
Yeah,
and then just like proceeded to just toy with this cunt instead of like.
Yeah, we dropped him in. I think it was the 7th. He like caught him with a left uppercut. I think missed a right. Caught him with a left hook and then a right uppercut, like flush as. Put the bloke down, but then just didn't go in for the finish.
Yeah, just like didn't try for the rest of the fight. Just toyed with him from what I seen.
Yeah, and like they reckon he was trying to look at going for like a world title within like 7 fights or some shit. But like, because that bloke who he'd versed, he's only lost to like Anthony Durrell. Who else was it? Like he'd only lost to like the upper fucking tier of fighters.
okay.
So like Akuso putting a show on like that was good for him, but I think he needed to send that statement.
Yeah,
And
but yeah, it
finish
would have
him
made more
off.
sense to like.
He wants to go for a world title in 7 fights, but the world titles in that division are held by Dmitry Bivol and Ida Beterbiev.
I feel like this guy's like an interesting.
Going to get murdered by both of those weird Russians? Yeah, probably.
No, I feel like he's like obviously with like the rise, he's going to get better and better. He's got
Yeah.
like the skill there to, be with them.
Yeah, but just act like a fuckwit when you have a reason for it.
Yeah, yeah. Be well known before you like carry on.
Yeah,
Like a
that's
douche.
like actually have accolades to be like, if you're gonna dance around the ring like that, have the reason be because there's 3 cunts standing outside of it with gold with your name on it.
Yeah.
Don't just be because it's my 6th fight unbeaten. Go fuck yourself. You're not Conor McGregor. You're not fucking you're not these people that you think you are yet. You could be.
Yeah.
Do the work first.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
It fucking pisses me off, man. People just trying to make a name for themselves before they actually make a name for themselves. I'm going to make a name for myself with my name before making a name for myself with my fists, like I fucking should.
And he's like big noting himself. It's not like you're on like a big DAZN card back in the States. You're on a No Limit Australia card.
People are going to argue about Manny and Floyd for 50 years because, unfortunately, as much of a fuckwit as Floyd is, he made his case with his hands before he made his case with his mouth. And the same for a lot of other fucking people.
Yeah, well, that was being broadcast into the States as well, so it was like a reason to not carry on like that and just put the cunt away.
Exactly. Make a statement.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I feel like it was just like a douchey kind of behavior.
Like, even his, like, corner, you could hear them, like, switch on Paulo! Like, fucking stop
Yeah.
being a fuckwit!
Yeah.
Like,
And he's just like, nah, I'm just going to be a fuckwit.
yeah, just kept doing what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly. But speaking of making a statement, what do we move into the fucking main event here?
Oh, what a statement that he made.
Fucking get him, Timmy.
I mean, what's his name?
Charlo.
No, the other one.
Toby.
Toby.
Tony
Hair
hair
salon.
salon.
Yeah. Beautiful jab.
Yeah. I suppose. I can't tell whether Harrison has 0 pop on his shorts or whether Tszyu just has a face made of fucking granite. Because he snapped his head back a few times, but Tim just kept walking forward.
Yeah, hard for Harrison to set his feet. I think,
Anytime he
like,
tried that, Tim would hit him with a
He was
bomb.
just trying to, like, flick the jab out to keep him away. I don't think it was, like, trying to flick it out with much intention behind it, really. The ring was pretty small.
But here's,
Slippery from what I could tell from throughout the night. The amount of motherfuckers that slipped on that shit.
here's the thing that already bodes well for Tim going into this Charlo fight. Is the fact that everybody talks about that Harrison was like the slickest boxer at 154 and he was the guy with all these technical skills and the head movement and the being able to get in and out and hit you and like that's how he beat Charlo the first time and shit because he outboxed him. And Tim just proved that doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, Charlo's got the better punching power.
Oh, 100%.
Probably speed as well. Harrison just has a faster jab.
Yeah.
Zeus just he's just like a fucking little Australian tank, hey? He just
I was about
like,
to say, he's like an
he's
Australian,
marching forward.
it's like the Australian Mexican.
Yeah, dude. 100%.
And there's like similarities that you can see, like sort of to, like not defensively, but like the way he stalks people is sort of like Canelo. Like it's just like constantly like just edging forward. And then once you're like half a step away from the rope, he just jumps in that bit quicker.
Do you reckon that
Keeps you there, putting shots on you.
Do you reckon that like leads into a bit of a downfall of when he does fight someone that's like a bit of a heavier puncher? Because he's going to have to like fight off the back foot a bit more. And I just don't think he's had that in Australia. I just don't think he's had anyone like push him back and really, like he fought Jeff Horn, who didn't really succeed in that. He just kind of dove with his head at him.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, where you at? Why weren't you in Sydney for the card, bro?
They left him in Brisbane and flew Sean Porter out instead.
I mean, probably a smart move. I don't know. I didn't
Definitely.
Oh,
I just done the card with no sound on. I thought it was like ideal.
I got all kinds of commentary, man. I got Russian, I got Spanish. It's fucking great.
Yeah, you just bilingual.
Just a bunch of fucking words in there. Sydney, Australia. Then this head goes out for 5 minutes and it cuts back to his hockey hat and just go. And I'm like, this is great.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, What more do you need than that? Really?
Who needs anything else? Fucking, what was the point that I was gonna make? You're right. Like, Zoo can't fight that style against Charlo, but I feel like they kind of understood that they could fight a little bit more like that against Harrison.
Well,
Not that it's like a tactic to say like, oh, we're going to do this to make Charlo think we're going to do this. It's just more of a like, I can afford to stand in front of this cunt and just walk him down and knock him the fuck out because he like just has a jab. He doesn't have anything else other than that.
Yeah, but if you can stop people from planting their feet and keep them moving backwards, it's always hard. Like, it's always harder to be stopped. You know, because you're making them move. You're constantly coming forward. And I don't think, like, I think Zoo will pretty well go in the same way he always has. Exactly like yesterday.
Yeah, that's
Come
true.
forward, put the pressure on Charlo. And if Charlo doesn't tag him by 9, the pressure of Zoo's really going to start to fucking tell.
Yeah, because he
coming
just
down the stretch, because he just keeps coming and coming and coming.
he looks
Yeah,
to just take you into like the deepest waters.
Yeah,
like
fuck,
that's
he
where
just-
he just wants to drag you.
Yeah, like
Finish you.
and if Charlo can't tag him when he's fresh,
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be a fucking long night after about 8.
And Charlo is a little bit like beefier at 154 than somebody like Tony Harrison is. Tony's a bit more taller and slender. But fuck, Tim is like solid for that weight class, man. Like you look at his arms and his shoulders and shit like that. Like he's just big. And then in the sense of like any time Harrison leant on him, there was never like he was never really able to just like push Tim around. As soon as he like lent himself into Tim, Tim would just push him the fuck away.
Yeah.
Like, so you can tell that he's just like extremely fucking strong.
I feel like both the brothers are really like that.
Yeah.
Like they're both just like Ninja Turtles, bro. It's like the best way to describe them. Their backs.
Yeah.
Got like a big shell on their backs.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of workouts they do, man, but it's fucking crazy.
You got to think it's all fucking old school
But
Russian.
Yeah, Russian
So they
shit.
do, I reckon they do like a lot of fucking whacking a tire with a sledgehammer,
Yeah.
or a bit of wood chopping.
mm-hmm.
Like, because their pop, who was in like Kostya's training camps, is over here in theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's like the same trainer, pretty well the same team that fucking Kostya had, fucking Tim has, and Nikita would have it as well. So it'll be all that old school sort of training
Mm-hmm.
mixed in with the fucking sporting science that you get today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Whatever they're fucking doing, they're doing it.
But what
Right,
a fucking what a brutal knockout, hey.
Oh,
It's so interesting to see him switch from just like composed to absolute just killer mode.
yeah.
He knows when he's got you hurt.
You can see the switch in his eyes, man. Like the difference in between him like throwing just regular shots and then it cuts to like him throwing those 7 uppercuts in a fucking row at like full extension. Like he just wants to break that cunt's neck.
That was his plan too, though. He said after the fight, he wanted to like get the fight to around the 9th and then
just unleash.
just fucking turn it up.
Could have waited one more round, Tim. One more fucking round.
Fuck the
homie.
multi again.
And apparently, I didn't see the interview or anything, but apparently through the week he picked round 9 stoppage.
He did. I saw that.
Fucking Tim. Come on, man.
Give the
Should have
boys a
listened to your
call.
boy.
Yeah, I should have. You know.
Send us a text or something next time, just in case we miss the interview. You guys.
Hey,
Yeah, next fight, Tim. Just come on the pod. Let the people know what round you're going to get it done.
what do you reckon we should try and get his brother on? We can maybe do that.
Send him a message.
Mm.
He didn't reply.
No, we'll see how it goes. Keep it up. Keep pestering him. But fucking speaking of being a pest, why don't we move on to the UFC Fight Night main event, which fuck
Oh,
me.
what a pass.
Holy shit. How many takedowns was it?
49 takedown attempts.
He broke the takedown attempt record by 16.
Yeah, it was
33 going into that fight.
Well, there was 2 takedown records beaten then because Jan defended 28 takedowns. 38 takedowns.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's got to be a record. If like the record was, you know what I mean?
No, 100%.
So it's a record.
And, like,
no one's
what-
defended that many.
What's the record for most amount of takedowns landed on you? Because fucking old mate still landed 13.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's a lot of fucking
huge
takedowns.
amount, man. Just the relentless pressure from I don't know how to say his name.
I think his
No,
name's
neither.
like
Dvashivili.
What's his first name?
I don't know. Derek or something.
I think they're calling him like Merab or something.
Merab, that's his name. Merab.
So we'll just go Merab.
Merab.
We'll stick with Merab.
I'm just gonna go
Merab.
with that other guy.
Dvashivili.
I'm just gonna go with the winner.
Yeah, that guy.
But
But yeah,
knockout.
it was just absolutely fucking relentless pressure for 5 rounds. It was fucking ridiculous,
It
man.
was like
It's like that. It's like like I said earlier in the chat. It's like that Colby Covington, like wrestle fucking, bro. They just
Yeah.
like wrestle fuck you till you're exhausted, and then they're like, not great strikers. Like Jan's definitely the better striker.
He
But then
was-
he's
I
like,
mean, this dude
he
was
was-
pretty crisp.
I watched the first round. I think it was like 2 rounds,
yeah,
and like he was giving Jan a good run for his money on the feet, and then
Really?
tagged him. Probably with maybe 3 or 4 like calf kicks, and like it started to compromise Jan, but then he just went away from it.
yeah, right.
Like I reckon he could have finished Jan probably in the 3rd or 4th if he had just stuck
Yeah,
and just
stuff
mixed in
with
a
it.
calf kick just every now and then. Didn't have to do it all the time.
He compromised him enough, though, in the sense that Jan spent most of the middle of that fight at southpaw. Pretty much from the second round on, he was southpaw because he didn't want to get kicked in the calf anymore. And then once it hit like maybe the last 2 minute and a half of the 4th, he switched back to orthodox because he was like, "Fuck this! I've just got to do something to get it done," because he knew he was losing.
And like I know Jan's not weak at that weight class.
Dude, the 5th
And, like,
round
he
was
got old mate down in like I think it was the 3rd.
Mhm.
And as soon as he got him down, I reckon within
Yeah,
like 10 seconds, old mate was back up on his feet and had like spun Jan around and had the advantage in the clench up against the cage.
yeah, yeah. That dude trains with Sterling.
That's what he said after the fight. He's like, I want to go for the belt, but my best friend has it. So if he moves up, then I'll go for the title. Like he doesn't want to fight Sterling. Like just a nice dude at the same time.
yeah,
like
Well, like the whole there was like a bit of like heat going into that fight, and the whole thing on his side of it was like, I don't like Jan because he's Russian.
yeah, because no, he's what was it? Jan's Russian and he's fucking. I don't want to say the wrong country or anything, but whatever it is, they're like in a
Bosnian, maybe. I'm just
yes,
making shit
but
up, I think.
they're in a fucking like political feud.
Okay.
And he was like, I hate Jan because that adds to like the fire. like I was like, what? These fucking they're Eastern Europeans.
we still on. Yeah.
Like Eastern Europeans or whatever.
Yeah. They
Fucking
like
cunt's
Russians
crazy.
seem to have a problem with everybody, which is weird because Jan's one of the only people, like, really, there's a bunch of Russian fighters in the UFC and people linked with that kind of thing. And Jan was one of the only people to come out and speak about the Russian conflict and, like, decry it and stuff like that, saying, I don't think my country should be doing this shit.
Yeah, he was also one of the only people where no one had a problem that he was still fighting.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Well,
either,
no,
like,
because he
when-
did that. Because he came out straight away and said, like, I decry this 100%. I don't believe that this is a good thing. So everyone went, fucking good on you. Let him do what he
But even,
fucking
like-
needs to.
But like in boxing, they were like, "Oh, why the fuck's Bivol getting to fight Canelo?" Like when the Russians are doing this. Like
Notice how it went away after he beat Canelo, though?
Yeah, but like he doesn't like he's not involved. Like,
No, not at all. Dude, he lives in California.
but like yeah, like he fucking he's not the cunt that sent them there for war.
Yeah, exactly. That's not his fucking problem. Not at all. And then yeah, there's moral shit like beside of that, but like that, like you said, if he turned it on earlier, he probably could have got Jan out of there, and I kind of wish he did
All
because
they need to do is stick to the calf
dude,
kick,
just
bro.
watching that 5th round was so disheartening. Watching somebody like Jan and the battles that he's been in over the last couple of years, like close fights with Sterling, like the DQ obviously fucked him up, which you made a good point about, which we'll get onto in a second before we quickly move on to some other things. We're going to scrap a fight and move on to the other UFC. What was my fucking point? Yeah, the 5th round was just really disheartening to watch because, you know, Jan is fucking still top echelon in that fucking division, and all of a sudden this cunt just destroys him. Like, he just wasn't fighting back. He was literally just, like, as soon as the cunt grabbed him, you could see it in his eyes of just like, get the fuck off me. Like, not even like an angry get the fuck off me. He was just beaten. Like,
Yeah,
I
'cause
don't want to do this anymore.
Like when I told you boys, like I was like watching that and the boxing at the same time. Like it was no different the first like 2 rounds of what I'd seen to the rest of the fight. Like it was just throw the 1-2, maybe a 3-punch combination, shoot straight after it.
Yeah.
And then like it was just just repeat the fucking cycle. All right, he stuffed the takedown. Right back to it. Jan throw one, he'd fucking throw with him, shoot for the takedown. And it was just fucking over and over. And I was like, oh, maybe he'll get tired.
Yeah,
But
no.
no,
That's what I
like-
thought. I was like, I don't know if he can keep this pace for the 25.
It was like Habib, but like better.
way more like
Because
aggressive and
because he just didn't grab him and pin him to the ground, then just hold him there. Like it was like literally just a cycle of watching Jan go from fucking I'm looking good here in the first round to just like by the end of it, it was just like get the fuck off me and get me the fuck out of here.
yeah.
Like I'm done.
Yeah, it was just fucking crazy to watch, man.
Yeah, we could just tell by the end of it. Yeah, Jan's just like broken, man.
Yeah, he was just fucking completely over it. Done with
But-
the whole shit.
I just don't know if Jan, the point probably that I made, I'm guessing, I just don't know if Jan's got the drive anymore. I just feel like that DQ loss just like
Drove the wind out of him.
yeah,
Air
just
out
like
of him, so to speak.
sucked the drive out of him. Like he just doesn't. Since then, he just doesn't seem like the same killer.
Yeah, no, like before he was just mowing everybody down. And just running through people.
Bro,
And I
yeah.
was like, oh, this will be a good test. And you just go in there and like spark him out.
Was literally destroying people. Like he looked like one of the best people at that weight class kind of thing. And then like that happens, and it's just like he's just on like this weird downhill spiral.
Yeah. It's not good to see, but hopefully he can fucking pull himself out of it.
I think the close fight with O'Malley as well and that decision probably fucking disheartened him a little bit too. Like
Yeah, as it would. Like
it was a fight that
close
could have went
fight.
either way.
Yeah,
It really could have, yeah.
yeah. You can imagine like losing that. Fuck, you'd be like, fuck me dead. Like what have I got to fucking do?
And like the DQ 2 fights before that or something.
Yeah.
Like hasn't been a fucking good run for him.
No, he's in a battle.
Hopefully he can turn it around.
Make a bit of a comeback.
KK.
Speaking of, the UFC 286 PPV this weekend. Like I said, we're running out of time here, so we're just going to skip that fucking fight in the middle.
Gabe.
Congratulations. No. We're still going to talk about that quickly, but we're going to talk Diego Pacheco versus Jack Cullen, who was a 4th round knockout expected by Pacheco. He now wants to move on to bigger competition. Good on you. Go do it. Fight Edgar Berlanga. That'll be a good fight. Anyway.
You heard the Ned. Get it done.
What Ned said.
Fucking
Get it.
Eddie, sort it out. So we've got some interesting-ish fights. Like I said, is that Brian Barberina? Who's that? That's not the guy that I'm thinking.
He fought Robbie Lawler a
Is there
while
a-
ago.
Is there a
Yes.
picture there, Ned?
Also fucking knocked him out, didn't he?
I think it's on your screen for him.
There was because there was 2 dudes that I'm getting mixed up on. It was that Brian Barberina or was that Chris Gutierrez that I was talking about before because they both brutally knocked out UFC legends.
I don't know who the other guy is.
Barberina fucked up.
I know who
Lawler,
Barberina
is what
is,
you're saying.
yeah.
Gutierrez is the guy that fucked up Frankie Edgar.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so got Barberina fighting this weekend, always a good fight. And then in the co-main, got fucking the highlight reel Justin Gaethje returning
Oh,
against Rafael Fiziev.
yeah. People say he's probably one of the best kickboxers in the UFC. Which is like you've got Israel Pereira. Like you got some high level kickboxers in the UFC. So that's a big claim.
It's a big compliment too.
Massive compliment. But
I would say if you're looking at that lightweight division as well, Poirier is probably still in contention with the way that like he has enough jiu-jitsu skills and like good enough striking if he gets a chance against Islam to maybe be able to get it done. I think Gaethje is like the true gatekeeper of that division at the moment.
I reckon
Hoyer's become one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Poirier's a
Like-
beast. Gaethje, it depends how Gaethje fights. Like you see the fight that he had against Ferguson, and that was like they worked on just like him staying composed and like calm rather than being like, I wouldn't say reckless, I'd just say rapid.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's one of them blokes that lives for the fight. Once
Loves it.
Once the other bloke starts fighting him, he feels the need to fight you.
Yeah.
Like,
This weekend's going to be a big case of that, I reckon.
like if someone wants to stand in his face and trade, he's fucking happy to do that, and then he gets like carried away. I think I heard him on Joe Rogan. Him and his coach were on there.
Yeah,
They'd
Trevor
done it.
Whitman.
Yeah, and Trevor Whitman was like, the only 2 like fights you've lost is because you got too fucking excited.
Yeah.
Like you were too keen to be in there throwing fucking shots, and you weren't thinking.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that interview actually.
We always just hear his coach in his corner just being like, calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah, just relax. He's one of the best coaches ever. Look who he's coaching. Usman, Gaethje, Rose.
Yeah.
Gaethje just would have been
top
like that
tier.
crazy ADHD kid running around at school, just fucking
Yeah.
like climbing in trees and shit. I
Backflipping
reckon.
off him and shit, doing his
Yeah,
fucking
100%.
thing. But that's a fucking fun fight.
It's going to be good to see him
because
back.
that other dude's gonna push forward, and you know Gaethje just pushes forward.
Oh, 100%.
Gaethje's got good wrestling. He just never uses it.
Well, maybe it might come out on the weekend, depending on.
Good day for it.
Let's see how it goes. But you mentioned Trevor Whitman, and then you mentioned Kamaru Usman. So we've got the fucking co-main event. Usman versus Edwards 3.
It was a good run, Leon. What, you had the belt for a couple months. You didn't get to defend it. You had a beautiful run, though.
You get to defend it once.
Yeah, but I don't know if you
Just
can claim
once.
defending it if you lose that fight.
Yeah, you didn't defend it. You just lost it.
Yeah,
you had it.
yeah,
You had it
that's
and
true.
lost it. Like you need to win that fight to have defended the title.
I don't see Kamaru. I just don't see him risking anything in this fight. I reckon he's gonna like probably take him down and ground and pound him. But then Leon's got like decent jiu-jitsu.
I think Kamaru will try and wear him down.
Yeah. No.
Wear him down, drag him into the fucking like deep waters and fuck with his cardio, and then try and knock him out on the feet.
I think me
That's
and
my
you.
I feel like that's what he tried to do last time and he got his fucking ass head kicked.
I think me and you spoke about this like a week or two ago for him, in the sense that and we sort of nearly came to an agreement on it. We sort of under the impression it's going to be a lot like the Woodley fight. Like he's just going to come out there and just hold him and just wear him down. But with that added little caveat of he now believes in his striking enough that he'll wear him the fuck out and try and knock him out.
Why does he believe in his striking? He just got head kick finished. And then he's just like,
Because
he knocked
out Jorge Masvidal.
I could probably do that.
But like he's gonna have, I don't know. I just feel like he's gonna try and wear him out, like even like worse on the ground, just constant. Like I'd love to see him do what fucking old mate done to Jan on the weekend, man. Just constant, keep throwing, keep shooting.
That's what I reckon's going to happen, except when he gets him down, he's just going to hold him and ground and pound him and, yeah, make it like a very Woodley type fight.
Yeah.
I don't see him... Like, he wrestle fucked him for 4 rounds in that last fight, and then Leon came out and head kicked him in the 5th. So I just don't see him, like, getting him to the 5th and being like, oh, he's tired, I'll try get him out of here now. Because, like... Fucking could just make a little tiny mistake again. That's all it was. He just dipped to that side and Leon made the read. His corner made the read. Got fucking put out in the 5th, like late in the 5th too.
And it just depends how hesitant he is too after that.
I don't think he's going to be hesitant. He's going to want his belt back. I reckon he's just going to, It's going to be a big case of just like ground and pound for fucking 25 minutes.
In the sense that it was easier for him to set up his wrestling last time because he was confident on the feet. Now he knows that Leon can just fucking... Leon can make good reads and can put him the fuck out if he wants to.
Yeah, like stiffen him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of feel like he'll... I don't know. I feel like he's going to have that faith in his stand-up because in his mind, that was a lucky shot from Edwards. Like you know what I mean? Like
I get that it was in his mind, but
that's how I feel. That's the mindset he will have. He's like, it was a lucky shot. If I just worry about getting hold of him.
Yeah,
I don't have to worry about that. But like, if you're going to be close, like if you're going to be there on the feet, be close.
Yeah,
don't be at distance.
I do see your
Leon
point
can kick you in the head.
where he would be like, lucky kick. But it's like, you watch his corner be like full talk about it. What?
Just the way he said that just made me think of Borat. You'll never kick this. You'll never kick this. But then Leon Edwards, he kicked this.
One day he broke out.
But then, like, what, they already had a fight before as well. This is
Yeah.
like number 3. What, he just like fucked him in the first fight.
Yeah, Russell fucked him.
Pretty well wrestle fucked him in the second fight. Got tagged with the kick.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Usman's sitting there going, well, out of 50 minutes, I've got caught with one lucky shot. I've dominated him the rest of it.
Yeah, it does
Yeah.
make heaps of sense. So, I don't know.
I feel like the same as Izzy with Pereira.
I was about to say, you
Yeah.
can't live in that Adesanya mentality of, oh, but I did this and did this. It's like, yeah, but he knocked you the fuck out like 2 out of 3 times. So,
Adesanya's like fixated on Pereira. Hey?
Yeah.
I seen like a
Oh, fuck yeah.
tweet recently, and it was along the lines of like, fuck the belts, fuck everything, nothing else matters. I need to beat this man. It's like, oh, that's not good.
it's not good.
It's really good for like training and shit, but like,
Don't go into the fight with that mentality. No.
Nah.
You need to be clear.
don't psych yourself out and shit, and then come out and get fucking sparked out.
You
by
need
the
to get
man.
the greatest coach, MMA mentality coach of all times on your side. God knows he's working in the business now.
Yeah.
Goggins.
Oh yeah,
Because it turns out he wasn't just like there for like one random thing. Like he trained with Jones in that camp. Which also brings me to the point of Sterling's fucked. Because you brought up the point that Cejudo is training with Jones, therefore by proxy, Cejudo is training with Goggins.
I tried to bring you over, bro.
Sorry, Aljamain, it was a good run.
Yeah.
I'm staying with Aljo.
Nah.
Fuck
bro.
that guard.
Bro, you gotta come over to the fucking Cejudo side. Bro.
I'll never go to the Cejudo side.
My whole
I'm
thing
going to
is
get him
like,
to watch one Goggins video and he's just going to be like, Aljo, I'm real sorry, hey.
yeah, next week, next episode.
Cejudo was talking about fighting women
Yeah, that's true.
as like a weight class thing in the UFC. I'm never jumping on.
Wasn't he
that
talking
cunt
about
side.
fighting Nunes though?
Yeah, like he was talking about.
He would have got
No,
fucked in that
No, then he was like,
fight.
"Oh, they should make like a cross gender thing, and I'll just fucking dominate that." Like, no, you can't do that. Just fucking
Yeah, no, that's not a
like a
thing.
mixed gender weight class fucking type deal. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah, no, that's not a thing. You can't be going and
Like that was like what he wanted to do, like make it like a legit fucking like
I'll go back to the
belt
fence.
for it.
I mean,
fuck that cunt.
I don't like either of them. I probably like Cejudo the least. Like I don't vibe him, but like the whole thing of like he's training with John Jones. Who gives a fuck if Sterling's gonna be able to hold him? He's just had Jones trying to hold him down for fucking.
Jones trying to
long.
hold him while Goggins is screaming in
Yeah.
your ears. Get up, motherfucker!
Yeah, 100%. That's a bad day for anyone. I don't give a fuck. You put fucking you give fucking CM Punk Goggins. He's gonna be a world champ.
And I'm also taking Sterling because that bloke that fought Yarn yesterday, it's his training partner.
Yeah, that's also another
Like,
defining
Like, can you
factor.
imagine going into fucking training every day and just like, all right, you're gonna go over there with fucking Merab or whatever his name is, and you two are just gonna wrestle for the next hour. That cunt's not gonna stop. Like, he's gonna be like, fuck, bro, let me get a drink. Go grab your water bottle. He's fucking tackle you still.
Yeah, you're gonna
Like-
go fight that Bosnian Energizer Bunny with fucking 8 arms.
like every day.
Fuck that noise.
Yeah, just the never ending fucking. But like, Sterling has that, but like a real less aggressive style.
And like at the end of the day, I don't really care who wins because I don't.
Nah, neither. I don't
I
like
don't
either
like
of them.
Cejudo because he's just a fuckwit,
Yeah,
and I don't like fucking Aljo because he just like milked that first win against Yarn.
Aljo's a big boy. Did you see the photos of him and Connor next to each other?
Yeah,
Big boy, man.
fucking huge.
And you look at like the photo, like I understand now. I seen like a video of Wonderboy talking about the photo he took with Connor. And he's like, he's a smart dude, man. As soon as the cameras are on, his personality starts. And he's like, even when like someone wants to take a photo, he like, kind of sizes you up and knows where he's got to stand to look big next to you. And he's like, I'm bigger than Connor. He just knew how to creep forward a few steps to look bigger.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that makes heaps
Yeah,
more
there's a
sense.
video of them like him setting himself up before the photo, and you see him sort of like full on like looking, standing, looking at him, positioning himself and shit like that.
Yeah. Well, he gets. He's like been one of the most famous MMA stars for years and years now. So he's just gotten that camera.
Well, speaking of being one of the most famous stars for years and years,
Gabe.
we got the King returning this weekend, boys.
Oh, fucking.
Gabe.
Here we are talking about the UFC in reality.
Who gives a
Dude,
flying fuck when King Gabe's on?
Not me. We got the man, the myth, the king, the Gabe.
The legend, the emperor,
Oh,
Pharaoh.
just fucking the 3 horsemen. He's fucking whatever you need.
It may just end up like a pharaoh after this weekend, though. I'm sorry. It's fucking in a tomb, you poor cunt.
Primates.
There's
Gabe.
that water all over our glorious new Samson Q9 user.
That's right. You heard it here first. Samsung Q9U. Beautiful,
Endorsement?
beautiful mics. Nah,
Endorsement?
I wish.
Question mark.
I wish. They should probably hit us up. Hit us with your best shot. Oh shit!
But yes, we do have Gabe Rosado returning this weekend at 175 pounds.
Every time you say his name, make it a little bit harder.
I think I'm going to do the same thing I did in the short and just have his every time we say his
Yeah,
name. just
yeah.
Gabe.
I just love that he is a dog. And the Rottweiler comes up, can't fuck off. That's still to this day like my favorite thing that this podcast has
It's
released.
all hard. It just comes up hard.
Yeah. That was pure.
Oh, fucking good times, great classic hits.
Can we, if anyone, which I don't like our chances, but if anyone stumbles across this even in a couple of years' time, can we get a Gabe Rosado animation where he's a shapeshifter and he just like goes between being a bunch of different things? I'd
No, I don't
I'd
even
fully
need
invest in
that. What I need is one of those, like, you remember the show, The Animorphs? Remember how they had the books for it? How it'd have, like, a picture of a human and then it'd just have, like, a shitty 3D animation of them morphing into an animal? I need that of Gabe Rosado in the ring and then him turning into a Rottweiler
Yeah.
with a championship belt around its fucking collar.
We should get an updated Wilfred. And Gabe
Please.
just plays the dog. 'Cause-
Championship collar is just a heart. There's no symbols for
Yeah.
world champion. Just fucking heart.
Just all fucking... I mean, it sums him up pretty well. He's all fucking heart, all talent, all skill.
Fucking hell.
I mean, it's hard to kind of see how Ramirez is going to get it done.
Well, it's fucking interesting, man. He looked terrible in that last fucking fight. He absolutely looked terrible against...
Yeah, he fought
like,
Bivol.
yeah, but, like, that's... the, I don't know.
Canelo didn't look great against people.
Yeah, you're like... I don't
Yeah,
know.
but that's the thing, and the difference is like Bivol was more technically skilled than Canelo, and like had that little bit of a size advantage, but he just made Ramirez look like a fucking idiot for 12 rounds.
Yeah, which is why I feel like he's fighting Gabe. Like, I love Gabe, all heart, but he's gonna be fucking pummeled here. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's not a Gabe Rosado fight without someone in the corner saying...
So I'm gonna die in there, Cheeto.
I mean, so he's probably, he's going to be on the brink of death.
Gotta get him out of there, man.
But I feel like he's going to bring it back, and I feel like he's like...
While his dad just stares blankly into the distance.
I reckon they've got to get whoever... Does he still have the same corner as when he fought Triple G?
I think so.
I feel like they got to get him, like whoever that was that stopped the fight, out of his corner, because he was dominating Triple G. I don't know, like, what was it?
Yeah,
The
you gotta
8th,
get-
9th round?
Got to get rid of him the same way fucking Wilder got rid of what's his name?
Oh yeah,
Hilarious.
No,
No, he's
how Wilder
coach.
got rid of that kind of.
All right.
Fucking
didn't spike his water or something.
yeah, for throwing in the towel and that motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean,
You saved my life. You fired.
yeah, but Gabe Rosado, he's gonna. There's no doubt about it in my mind that he's gonna come out and get the job done.
He's gonna absolutely get the job done.
I mean, he's gonna dominate. He's probably gonna bleed, but I feel like you could fucking throw a fucking bit of paper at Gabe Rosado and he's gonna bust open.
I had to see a fight between
Three
him and
on him.
Diaz. Just fucking
Oh,
Who bleeds first?
bloodbath.
imagine a first blood match between Gabe and Nate Diaz.
Good 10 seconds in,
Yeah.
just blood everywhere.
you wouldn't be allowed to pay for it. It'd be a fucking on the walkout. They're both just bleeding.
The
You're like,
Vaseline that they rub on their face at the start of it would be too sharp.
well, it was
It'd have-
Nate's last
The
fight. where-
vibration from the walkout music.
It was Nate's last fight that we were joking
change in
about.
air
that, right?
pressure from the smaller area to the bigger area. Just
Was it Nate's last fight that we were joking about that? But then
he didn't
it
get
happened.
a card.
No. What fight was it? We were like joking about it. Then he like walked out and you could see like a cut near his eye, and you're like, oh, he's already cut.
It's already been cut.
It was the
It's cut.
Ferguson fight, and then he didn't bleed.
Yeah, he didn't bleed after that fact, which
That
is
was
so
so
strange.
fucking stupid, man.
But
Made no sense.
I don't know. I like this fight for Gabe.
Someone's got to. Someone outside of his coaching team's got to, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got Freddie back in his corner. Like it's just
Oh, yeah, that's going to be great while Freddie carries him out on a stretcher after all the concussive fucking force that Ramirez just forced on top of his brain, and Freddie be fucking shaking the top of it.
yeah. You probably don't want
It's
the extra shaking.
fantastic.
You probably don't
All
want that extra shaking.
all seven brain cells that he had left after fucking the Triple G fight, 3 of them gone from that, and then the other 4 just fucking.
My whole thing is
leak
like
out
you got to
his
imagine
ears.
Gabe's accuracy is going to be on point. Not only is he hitting pads with one of the best, he's hitting pads with one of the best that can't even keep his fucking hands still on a good day. What do you mean you're trying to hold pads? He's fucking out here like this. Gabe's accuracy is going to be 99 rating. I'm nearly positive of it.
Freddie's favorite teaching tactic is here comes the airplane. You mentioned getting the job done before, and
Before we
managed.
go into that, can we just talk about just real quick Jake running from Mayweather?
Oh, we
You
did
guys
need
seen
to
that
mention
shit?
that. Yeah, that was
I didn't
hilarious.
watch that video.
You
didn't
don't need to
it?
watch the video. They say it's like 50 guys, but apparently it was like 20, which is still
A lot.
a lot of black guys to be fighting when it's you and one security guard. But they kind of ran up on Jake after he came out of a hockey game or something.
Miami Heat game.
It's hockey, right?
Basketball.
Yeah, so they're playing hockey. No, yeah, but he came out of like the game, and then fucking Floyd was obviously near there or whatever. Had like a group of dudes with him and like ran up on Jake. And, like, yeah, Jake had one security guard there who was like oh my fucking God. Like,
Yeah, fuck all this.
I would have just quit, hey. I would have been like, I don't wait for this fucking dude. What do you mean? But yeah, it got like a bit of an argument. You hear one of the dudes filming just start saying, let's bust him up. And then straight away you see Jake like look at some other guy and like, oh no, this is not good. And then he like literally just turns around, full dips up the road.
Legs.
Full runs, bro. Like up the road. And they're like, he's running. Good move. Honestly, I'm not shitting on him for running. But how has no one made a meme yet with like the song, I'm a runner, I'm a track star?
Or something like that.
Yeah, why he's running.
Just
like,
anything.
I've seen no good memes, but I guess it's because it's like, oh, if he didn't run, he probably would have died.
Like Where Are We Running by Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah,
Fucking
just anything. Someone do something. I should.
Man on the Run. So many good options.
Rocket Man.
And just like one more point to make on that. I seen Chael Sonnen talking about it. And he made the brilliant point of like, somebody's filming it, right? And then somebody's on camera like, oh, should we rough him up a little bit? It's like,
Yeah.
there's 20 of you and that's a crime. Like,
Yeah, dude.
why would you say that? And then like, whoever the fuck uploaded it? Like, it was a good idea because he looks like a bitch. It's like, you're going to gang bash him.
Yeah, like, not even just like a 5-on-1 or like, for one, you've got one of the best fighters to ever exist.
Yeah.
Which is an issue for Jake. He's going to lose that fight.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you have Floyd with like, you got to imagine his entourage is just like full of like massive dark guys.
Yeah, huge.
So half of them guys you're not even seeing in the nighttime. The other half, you know, you got to be careful. So like you're getting jumped from all angles from dudes that you can't even fucking see. It's a fucking nightmare for Jake. I'm glad he got the fuck out of there.
Oh, fucking hell. Well, he tweeted the next day and he was like, look, what was I going to do? Like, stick around and get my head caved in? He's like, there's no point in that.
Which he would have. Like, he would have got... If he stayed and was just like, no, fuck it, and just made a dumb move of like, yeah, I'll just try and box Floyd, he would have got his face punched apart.
Absolutely fucking pummeled.
And then when he was on the ground, he would have got the shit kicked out of him. Yeah, I'm glad he just like got out of that situation.
Yeah, it was a good call.
Yeah. Mature move.
Yeah.
By Jake. We're going to roll into a little that Sans my Bernie.
Yeah, we are.
Sans your Bernie this week, Ned.
Well, Ozpost Sans my Bernie this week, Griff.
They tend to do that. They're pretty good at that, I reckon.
Bought these microphones last week after you got your one. These are glorious Samson Q9Us that we have here.
What was that brand again, Ned?
Samson Q9Us.
Is that a...
XLR and USB capabilities.
You know, that's just great for if you don't have an audio interface, Ned.
It is. It's absolutely perfect. You can just plug straight in your computer and record straight in your recording software. It's handy as fuck.
It doesn't get any better than that, really. I'd say pretty much straight out the box, good quality. We've done a little bit of tweaking on these. Well, Franklin did, the man behind the scenes. Yeah, and you got them sounding beautiful, but even out of the box,
Pretty fucking crisp quality. I'm sure anybody who's like an avid listener or watcher can actually can tell the massive difference.
I mean, I couldn't listen to our last episode. Fucking toast, bro. Yeah, I couldn't listen to it. It's like trying to hear, because I was like, obviously, Franklin didn't have the mics locked in at that point.
Sitting there, it's like, who the fuck's that guy? Why would he say that shit? And you're like, oh, it's me.
Yeah,
I would say that shit.
Yeah, I tend to say some things.
Dude, 90% of the shit, I'm like, oh, bro, remember you said this? You're like, what? I'm like, that was 10 minutes ago. And we recorded it.
I don't know. It's usually just whatever fucking filters out my brain and just spits out my mouth. I don't have control over it, unfortunately.
So that was we said we were going to do with that Sans My Bernie, but that was almost like the opposite of it because these things are definitely not seen in my Bernie, man. They're fucking...
Well, I mean, it's pretty hard to be mad.
300, we got these for $200 off catch.
Yeah.
So absolute fucking value for money there because these things are $300 a pop, usually a retail price.
I got mine for 300, yeah.
Just a fucking good, does exactly what it needs to do, and is one of those things that's really good value for money. You're gonna if you know what you're doing with a whole bunch of high tech editing and audio software and have a proper sound studio and shit like that, yeah, go all out and buy yourself a Shure microphone. Go for that really top end kind of thing. But if you're just in a little bit of a smaller setup like us kind of thing, these are gonna get us through for such a long period of time, man.
Oh, huge! The quality on them through USB is what you're hearing right now. This is USB, and it's mad. Like, you can't really go wrong with it. And we're going to get a mixer when we get it.
So if you're like, I might actually cut this a little bit out and just fucking upload it as like a little separate segment. But if you want to go back and listen to the earlier part of the podcast that this little clip will be linked to, Pat and myself, or Griff here and myself, are fucking, I'll cut that out, are using the, what are we using? The mid boost feature.
Yeah, we're using the mid boost.
And Frumi, our third co-host,
he's just got no switches. Actually, he changed his bottom switch, so he had his high pass filter on.
Ah, okay. Somehow.
I don't know. I don't know.
How did he manage that?
I don't know. I didn't notice a big difference between having the high pass filter on, to be honest. I noticed the difference in my voice having the mid switch on.
Yeah.
But it's just because my voice sits in that middle range.
Yeah, exactly. His tends to sit in that lower range, so it's like pretty much out of the box is like good for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, these, like, at the end of the day, these are just like sort of perfect value for money microphones if you're looking to upgrade your setup.
Yeah, 100%. And pretty easy to, like, if you just like plugging it into USB, it's pretty easy. They're like pretty easy to get. So, like, you put a suppressor and shit on it, and you're good, really. Like, not much fiddling around if you kind of have a rough idea of what you're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but I'll tell you the only
beautiful.
downfall about him there, Griff. Getting my fucking hands on him.
Oh.
I ordered
Sluggish.
these Tuesday night, right?
Yeah.
All in one day, they went, like, getting picked up from the sender, went through a sorting facility and were on a plane to Sydney, went through another sorting facility that next morning, then made it to Smeaton Grange Thursday afternoon, and then weren't touched until this morning.
8:30 this morning.
Yes.
Which is, that's so late for them to start their runs.
Yeah. It's
Like,
just fucking irritating, man. It's like, why? Like, if it got stuck in Melbourne, I wouldn't have cared because
Well,
you
they
can
came
just
from Melbourne.
Yeah, they came from Melbourne, so it's like, yeah, because it was just sitting at a sorting facility in Melbourne for 4 days. Yeah, I can make peace with that because I can't just go and get it. But when it's sitting 40 minutes away and I can't go and get it because, well, we haven't sorted it yet, go fuck yourself.
Be better.
Yeah, do better.
Be like Samson.
Or Samson.
What did I say?
Samsung.
Don't be like them. Don't be like Samsung. They're fucking terrible. No, they're alright, I guess. Kind of raw dogged me a little bit on the whole releasing the new phone the day after I got mine.
Just waiting for you.
It must have been, bro.
Hanging out. We just need this
Bastards.
one guy to get one.
What else fucking stands my burning right now? Nothing really. I'm pretty in a good mood, to be honest.
A bunch of things that relate to our other podcast that'll be coming out later on in the week.
Yeah, that'll be getting at ya. Speaking of things, Ned, you can find us Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, fucking Apple, Spotify, YouTube. You can find us anywhere that you're looking, essentially. If you look hard enough, you'll find a little search bar. It's like a little icon, search fucking thing, magnifying glass. Just type in Eggplant Tornado Podcasts and we'll be there.
We will be there.
We'll be there and we'll be in your ears.
I'll be there.
We'll be, you can't.
Feel how crisp that audio is.
Oh.
Those dulcet tones.
What do you reckon, Prim?
Prim?
When did he leave?
Fuck knows, man. I thought he was pretty quiet for the last couple of minutes.
I mean,
Just fucking snuck on out of here.
fucking hell.
No.
I mean, sometimes you got to,
Hey.
You can't go wrong with a bit of fucking getting the fuck out.
Hey, the old Irish goodbye.
Get off us. Yeah. Get behind your boys. Help us. Help you. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you for listening. And you're welcome for the marks.
You are welcome.
Just